How did I come to this? Drinking piss-warm ale in the back room of this rat's nest of a tavern, listening as a charlatan witch plays with a deck of cards and tells me some piss-warm tale about my destiny. Were you a true seer, little witch, you'd sense that I'm barely paying attention to you. What little mind I have left scoffs at your talk of greatness and of duty to the crown. Why is everyone in this kingdom so enamored with the queen anyway? Sure, she's attractive. The nobles in this country usually are. They can afford to take care of themselves, not like this lot surrounding me now. These people have dirty nails and fingers stained with dirt and beer and worse. The nobles smell like flowers and exotic spices, while we commoners smell of earth and urine and mistakes we cannot wash away with silver. The queen isn't even here for this season. She secrets herself away in the White Palace for the winter under the pretense of religion. The moons are at their farthest from the great dragon, and so the queen makes herself unavailable to her people, mimicking the goddess in her prison. If you believe that the goddess is imprisoned in the White Moon, of course. I grew out of that belief long ago. Couldn't afford it. I can barely afford the moldy bread and potatoes that make up this dinner before me. What kind of witch tells the fortune of a drunk man while he's eating, anyway? She certainly is trying to sell it, waving her arms and raising her voice as she points to a cart with 2 horses on its face. She's not unattractive either. If I were younger, I might try to seduce her. Well, younger and cleaner. I have not bathed in close to 2 weeks. I can't imagine I smell any better than this ale I'm drinking. Now she's saying something about the hero's journey. I hate to piss on your campfire, miss, but I'm no hero. Not anymore. There was a time when I would have bought into her pantomime and rushed off to make my queen proud. In fact, I did just that when I was younger. Turned my skill with the sword into glory for the ruling class. I was a hero. I was even knighted, if you can believe it. I can't believe it. Not anymore. Lost the title years ago to drink. My wife died. My Anais died of plague, and I hid myself away in a bottle, made an ass of myself, and embarrassed my local lord in front of his peers. His wife was well, and my loss was less important to him than his ego, so I was stripped of my title and banished from his service. Meant nothing to me at the time. I was lost and in no mood to care for the hurt pride of a pampered baron, so I left. The problem with being a disgraced knight is that nobody lets you forget it. Everywhere I went, my reputation arrived first. There were no second chances to be had. Not in Aalveir, where your only worth lies in how good or bad you make the nobility look to their peers. By now I was dependent on my drink. I could barely stand for as much as I consumed, but when I was sober, I couldn't do anything but fight and howl like a wounded animal until I passed out or someone poured enough beer into me to calm me down. I took up with a mercenary company in the port city of Aiguin, near the border of Tranafan. Spent a few years with them even after they shed the mercenary title and descended into outright banditry. We were tolerated because we kept the Feck warlords on the defensive. We made a different kind of name for ourselves. We were actually feared, and that was the big mistake. Because if there's anything worse than making an Avaclian noble look bad, it's making them afraid. They lash out when they're afraid. And they'll spend anything to return to their warm, insulated, pampered lives. The company was attacked by knights. Some of them were former friends of mine. Knights think highly of themselves, but too often they're nothing more than brats who can afford better gear than the common soldier. All most knights have in their favor is the support of the ruling class and their shiny armor and weapons that provides. They still rely on numbers more than skill. Half of them can barely wield a sword when it counts. I didn't want to kill them, but I was not about to let myself be taken alive and spend the rest of my days in prison. 7 times down, 8 times up. I escaped the destruction of the bandit company and made my way north to Phare. Good thing about banditry is the anonymity. Nobody remembers you if you're not the leader. I was able to get hired on a ship patrolling the waters north of Akropa. Nobody cared who I was or where I was from. They didn't care that I was drunk half the time, as long as I could fight and climb the rigging when they needed me to. This charlatan is still going on about my destiny? What's your angle, little witch? I never even paid you, and I'm not about to. Wonder if she thinks I'm an easy mark, just because I see 3 of her. Sorry, milady, but you are wasting your time. She's talking about ships now. Wasn't I just thinking about ships? Clever girl, planting that in my head. I'm still not paying you, though. After all, it's not like working at sea is uncommon here. If you're not working on a ship, you're working on or near the docks. That's all there is to this place. Merchants trade in goods sacked from Sophian settlements. It's funny how piracy is okay so long as you're attacking another country's cities and ships. But this far north, it's the off-season. Everything in Aalveir changes in the winter. The sea itself ices over this far north, and I'm not about to get myself stranded on some ice floe for months at a time. I don't care how much more they pay. I'll stay here, slowly drinking myself to death and listening to some would-be witch tell me stories about my destiny over moldy potatoes. Something about her voice, though, makes you want to believe her, even if just a little. She seems to care so much about what she's saying. Sorry to disappoint you, witch, seer, or whatever you call yourself, but I'm not your man. You're talking about saving the queen herself now? Does she not have a private guard for her protection? Is that guard not made up of zealots of Umbrit Redmoon, goddess of wrath? Do they not make a grand spectacle of just how well protected she is every spring? I've seen the parades. I've stood and cheered in years past as the guard rode by, on winged horses in blood-red armor. I even rode in the parade one year myself when I was a knight. The security around the event was fierce. The Queen's hand had spies everywhere. The Queen cannot possibly be in danger. And even if she was, how would I protect her? The Red Guard would kill me before I got close enough to use my sword in her defense. No, I'll not be attending the parade this year, or any year going forward. Certainly I could get myself hired onto one of the guard ships at Lactabarban. Nobody in power would recognize me now. I'm sure I could even be cleaned up enough to wear the blue garments of the Queen's head. I could possibly even remain sober for the day of the festivities. I could do all of those things. I just don't want to. For most of the people of Aalveir, the Queen represents the best of all things that we should aspire to. She symbolizes hope, and justice and peace and all the blessings we wish for ourselves and for those we love. She symbolizes love itself. That is why I cannot be anywhere near her and why it cannot be my destiny to save her. I stopped believing in love. I stopped believing in the ruling class. I stopped believing in anything. She's staring at me now. She's gone silent. Is this where she expects payment? No, her hands are balled into fists. Does she mean to attack me? I can take a punch, and it wouldn't be the first time a woman has struck me. Wait. She's asking if I understand? Miss, I can barely grapple my own thoughts right now. How can I be expected to track yours as well? She's no witch, she's a madwoman. Now she's saying I'm to be a champion. Me! Miss, I'm a broken pirate. I'm no hero, no champion. I don't care what your cards or your gods say. I've finished my ale, and I've had enough that I feel sleep coming quickly. I'm closing my eyes and relaxing into my seat now. Blessed be the darkness and the quiet. Blessed be the lack of expectation. I do not wish to be your champion. I do not believe in fate. Yet somehow I know this witch will still be here when I awaken. Somehow, I know she won't stop. It's as if I'm remembering a play I've already seen. I can almost feel the blue silk of the Queen's Head uniform. I can hear the sound of my own boots echoing through the halls of the Queen's Palace at Hedon de Marseille. I can feel the weight of an unfamiliar sword in my hand, and I feel the heat of sudden and imminent battle burning the poison from my blood. Even as I drift off to sleep in this disgusting little tavern, I know that she speaks the truth. I will defend the Queen. Somehow, and within the next month, I will protect her as I would my own mother. And I will likely die doing so. Good. Good. At least then I will be reunited with my darling Anais. Let them cheer my name and sing songs about my bravery. It will be my joke on the world that the good Queen of Aalveir's champion and martyr is the drunkard of Phare Gran. I'll see you in the morning, little witch. Good night.